Hi, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Karen, and I'm a graduate assistant at the UTEP Graduate School. And thank you all for joining us for today's after hours workshop on stress management. I know we're all heading towards the end of the semester. So, maybe our stress may be a little higher than usual. And, along with me today is my colleague, Edgar Monroy, and we both will be presenting this workshop for you all today. So thank you all for joining us. Okay, so the UTEP Graduate School offers these after-hour workshops. These after-hour workshops support student success and well-being, and they're also an alternative for graduate students who are not able to attend workshops during regular hours. I know sometimes for some of us, we may attend school during the day or school in the evenings, and a lot of us are professionals in different fields, and so sometimes the regular 8 to 5 isn't flexible enough for everybody. So we created these after hours workshops to be flexible for you guys and to support your well-being and success. So thank you all for joining us. If you don't follow us on Instagram already, make sure that you follow us on Instagram at UTEP Grad School. And then here you can see our upcoming events, workshops, and you can also access these through our UTEP website. If anything, you can always Google UTEP Graduate School, and then you'll be able to find not only resources for workshops and other events that we'll be having, but also other forms of support that you can receive as a graduate student. Like, for example, help with tuition and different programs that we offer.
Just to add a little bit to that, Karen and everybody, it's this is the last one that we're doing for this semester. So this is the last after hours session that we're doing. So it would be great to get some feedback from you. This is the first semester that we're doing this after hours workshops. So it will be great if you can just let us know if it works for you, if you like it, so we can keep doing this for our next semester, which I think we'll be doing it for next semester, but we would like to hear what do you think the timing is good, whatever you think it works and it doesn't work. So it will be great to hear from you guys. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, so we would love your feedback. Either you can, at the end, we'll show you our contact information. You can always reach us through there, or you can also reach us on our social media, whatever works best for you. And so there's another program at UTEP. I'm not sure if you all have heard about it. It's called the Student Wellbeing Initiative. So the Student Wellbeing Initiative it's a program at campus, and its purpose is to connect with different offices, services, programs, and to target different areas of well-being. So, for example, like physical, emotional, financial, intellectual, social, and environmental well-being. So this initiative does target different areas of well-being, and they worked on us for this presentation. So if you all would like to reach out to them, feel free to contact them at this email right here. You can contact Valerie Varela, and she's the program coordinator for the student counseling. And here's her email in case you all want to take a picture of it or would like to write it down. You all can reach out to her in regards to the Student Wellbeing Initiative. And so the Student Wellbeing Initiative, they have been a part of various events during this fall. Maybe some of you even attended some of these events. So they were part of the Get Involved in Wellbeing Fair. They were also part of the Discovery and Recovery, and then also the Hazing Prevention Resource Fair. And, this is not a comprehensive list. These are just some, but just when you're out there at various events that UTEP hosts, look out for them. Look out for the Student Wellbeing Initiative and reach out to them in case you all have any questions or would like to get involved with them. And so, just to get everyone a little, to get everyone talking, get everyone a little more involved. So, I know the semester's almost done. We all have exams coming up. We have final papers, presentations. So if you had to pick an emoji for how you're feeling, how are you feeling right now? So, I listed some choices up here, but feel free to drop them into the chat. Feel free to drop some emojis, happy faces, sad faces. How is everyone feeling? And well, to share a little about, everything that I have going on right now. So as I mentioned earlier, myself and my colleague Edgar, we're both graduate students. Edgar is studying business and he's getting his master's in business. He can tell you a little about that. And I'm getting my doctor of pharmacy. So, we're all bombarded with things that we have to do. And I do see some emojis coming in. So some of you are happy. Well, I'm happy that the semester's almost over. We have one more month to go. Some of you, that looks like a tired emoji. Another one like a little emoji that's annoyed, another happy one. And then one with its head exploding. Yeah, so overwhelmed. You may be feeling glad that the semester is about to be done. You may be feeling overwhelmed with all the things that you have to do, all these papers, exams that you have to study for. And I get it. Me and Edgar both get it. We're right there along with you. Know that you're not alone and that you're not the only one feeling whatever you're feeling. And this is why we created this presentation today, so we can suggest some coping strategies for the stress that you may be feeling. So thank you all for sharing your emojis. And, we hope that after today's workshop, you all can apply some of the strategies learned today to help relieve some of that stress. So, first of all, I'd like to start describing what is stress. So, when we think of stress, a lot of the times we think of it as an emotion, but, there's also science behind stress. So stress is the body's automatic response to physical, mental, or emotional reactions to different demands or threats. So, back then our ancestors were, they were surrounded by lions, tigers. They had a lot of threats. Now, we have different demands in our society. We have school demands, work demands, but it still produces that, physiological response. And, our body's releasing chemicals like cortisol, the stress hormone, catecholamines like adrenaline. And, a lot of the times our bodies may go into this mode of fight or flight, which you all may be familiar with, that, either we're going to put up a fight and, attack whatever is harming us. So, maybe we have a bunch of exams that we need to study for, a bunch of final papers that we need to study for. So we're going to get all of those done. Or, we might choose flight and instead take a nap, watch some Netflix. So, those are, don't feel guilty when you start to watch Netflix. Sometimes it's just our bodies and, the chemicals inside our bodies, inside our brains that are making us behave this way. And, this system was created to help us survive. So, back then there were a lot of dangers that if our ancestors didn't react to immediately, they wouldn't be there for longer to pass on their genes. And here's just another little chart of what the stress response, if you all are in the field of science, you all may be familiar with some of these things. So, we have our brain, and then the pituitary gland, it's gonna release some hormones, and then our adrenal glands are gonna release some cortisol, so the stress hormone, and adrenaline. And then our body's gonna go into that fight or flight mode. So, you may experience things like fast breathing, sweating, your digestion may slow down, your blood pressure may go up. So, a lot of the times, so being in the field of pharmacy, I always tell when I see my patients and their blood pressure is higher than normal, and then they start telling me about all the stressors in their life, I tell them that, stress is something that can contribute to increased blood pressure and an accelerated heart rate. So these are all physiological things that can happen to you, things to look out for. And, so here's another question for you all. What causes stress? So why are we getting stressed? What are some things that you all can think about? And, feel free to share them out loud or type them into the chat. And, I really like this little meme with this dog. His house is on fire and everything's going wrong, but he's like, this is fine. That's how I feel sometimes. So, feel free to drop in what you all think causes stress, or even, if you want to share what stresses you out. What are some things?
Well, for me, when I'm put on the spot, it's something that stresses me a lot. Like when in class, for example, when a professor's asking a question and they point at you and say, hey, what do you think about this? Can you explain us a little bit about that? And when I'm not prepared, that stresses me out. So anyway, there's more.
Yeah, no, that's definitely stressful, to be put on the spot like that. You were minding your business, taking your notes, and then they call out on you, and it's like an automatic, like little mini heart attack that you have, especially if you weren't expecting it. And, some things that I'm seeing in the chat that are being shared is overwhelming amounts of work from multiple different classes. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Sometimes I wondered, if my professors thought that this was the only class that I was taking, because it wasn't. So another one is, that I see is final projects and exams. Yeah, so, we have our finals are coming up, and we have about a month left of school. So, good news and bad news, I guess. Good news is that the semester, there's about a month left of the semester. Bad news is that we probably have a bunch of projects and exams that we need to study for and prepare for. So yeah, there's multiple things that can cause stress for us. And I know you all mentioned a couple, but so things like school, and I know we're from the graduate school and we're graduate students, but a lot of us also have work. We also have family. We have relationships that we want to take care of. We may be facing legal matters, or someone from our family maybe. We may be stressing about our finances, so money, rent, bills. loss. We may experience unexpected loss. We may be dealing with mental or physical health problems. Our environment, maybe we're living with roommates that we just don't get along with, and that may be an additional stress factor. Things like that are going on in our society, like racial inequities, and our living situation, are all things that can be causing stress. So I really like this picture right here. It's like a little bomb, and it's the different things that can cause stress for us. So, work, money, relationships, other irritants, life changes. And, sometimes they may be self-generated. Sometimes, things haven't even happened and we're stressing about something that we think is going to happen and it never happens. So, we just generated some additional stress when there was nothing to stress about to begin with, but we created that for us. And, when we think of stress, so a lot of the times, it has like, oh, stress, it's negative, it's stressful to be stressed, it has like a negative connotation, but, I want you all to know that not all stress is bad. So there's, a certain level of stress that is going to help us operate at an ideal level. It's going to help us feel focused, energized, challenged. And so this is what we call eustress. So eustress is when it's stress to the point where it's positive, where it's beneficial, where we're feeling challenged and, we're seeking opportunities. And, these opportunities are meaningful for us. So we feel motivated and challenged, energized to be able to improve ourselves, to be able to tackle whatever challenge we're facing and, to meet our demands, responsibilities, and goals. And, so some examples of eustress can be, like graduating from college. So a lot of times, we have to deal with, we have to get our cap and gown. We have to do graduation applications. We have to submit final projects, get our final grades in. But, we're also feeling excited about graduating. Receiving a promotion can be another one. So, maybe you get your dream job or you get a job that you really wanted. But, with any new job, there comes a certain level of stress. And so these different scenarios are things in are areas in which we may feel like energized and challenged, but we're happy because we're growing and we're developing as professionals and also personally. And the point where we become distressed, so this is when we start feeling fatigued, exhausted, and burnt out. So this is after that peak. So we're not in eustress anymore, we're in distress. And distress can be short term or long term, especially if in our graduate programs, these programs can vary from 2 years to 5 years, depending on the level of education that you're obtaining, masters or PhDs or other doctorate degrees, other professional degrees as well. So maybe we may feel distress in the long term, or maybe we start out with eustress, and towards the end or towards our last year, we start feeling distressed. So, we may be in distress. School can also be a cause of distress. Maybe sometimes we have excessive obligations, like earlier someone mentioned that, having multiple classes. So yeah, you may be pursuing a degree in a field that you like, but, when you have too many classes and, you're just feeling overwhelmed with all the projects, all the exams, you become distressed. Conflicts in our relationships can also affect us. Our mental, physical health can also cause distress and, experiencing trauma. So, when you think about stress, we don't want to be where we don't have any stress at all, because that's when we get bored. But we want to be at the optimal level. So at eustress, where we're feeling focused and energized and challenged. and, where we're not overdoing it. And, so here are some signs for you all to look out for if you're under distress. So if you're not eating enough, or if you're eating too much, so too much or too little, if eating or even sleeping, not wanting to be around people that you like, so like your family and friends, you're always turning everyone down because, maybe you don't have any energy, or you have very low energy. Sometimes, you may experience pains. Another factor that I sometimes see my patients with is, headaches, upset stomachs, migraines. So, that's the physical effects of, stress factors that they may be experiencing. Feeling helpless or hopeless as well. Using excessive smoking or drinking, or using illegal medications, or, even prescription medications, overusing them. If you're worrying a lot of the time or feeling guilty, if you think about hurting yourself or others, and you're just having difficulty readjusting to a new home or work life, these are some signs to look out for. And, now we've touched on what stress is, and, it's not something that you're making up in your mind. And, now we want to suggest some things on how you all can reduce some of your stress levels. And, so our first suggestion is, eliminate stress where you can. You don't have to say yes to everything. Maybe you have multiple responsibilities at school, work, with your friends. Say no to whoever you can. And, if you feel like it's something that you can't do, establish your boundaries and say no. Tell them that at a later time when, you don't have a lot to do. And so, this is going to help you establish your boundaries, and it's also going to help you with managing your time, doing the things that you feel are a priority for you. So, learn to say no is, something really effective that we all can do to reduce unwanted stress factors. Another suggestion is, accepting that there are things that we can't control. So sometimes, our professors may be assigning us all of these things, and, we can't control what our professors assign us. We chose our program, and, as we need to put in our own effort, or even things in life, sometimes, we may have things that happen, we may experience losses, or even other people's actions that we can't control. Whatever other people choose to do, that's what they choose to do. And, the only thing that we have control over is what we do and how we react to things. So if we can't change something that has happened to us, then, we need to change our perspective, the way that we're looking at it, and, accepting things the way that they are. That way we're able to come to a place of peace. And then my colleague Edgar is gonna go ahead and discuss the next following suggestions.
Thank you, Karen. So, everyone, my name is Edgar Monroy. So I did have the opportunity to work for many years at the corporate level in Phoenix, Arizona. And my career is in human resources. So one of the things that I observed during my time working in this area, it's different situations. And one specifically really touched my heart and really made me sad when I personally saw a good leader, good person, good leadership skills. And he struggled to think positively. He struggled with himself. And as Karen was mentioning early, he was very stressed because he was leading more than 5,000 employees under his belt. So he had a lot of situations that he had to deal. And of course, at the corporate level, they look a lot on your results. So you're very, we call it like high visibility. So you do have high visibility in what you do and how you do it. And one of the things that he did is that he kept it quiet. He never shared with anybody. Once in a while, he came to me, talked to me about how he was feeling, but he didn't want to share with anybody else because he felt that because he was in a leadership position, showing any of his feelings, his stress levels, it will show that he's weak in his position, that he's not able to do his job. That was his mentality. And that was taking him to think different. Slowly, you could see his behavior was changing. His performance was changing. He was negative to a lot of things. He took off. He took time off. He took FMLA. So for a few weeks, he was gone. He came back. He wasn't the same. And it was going really bad for him. And we tried to do anything. We did presentations like this for him, like the ones that we're doing now. Talk about the good things, what is good, what is bad for you, how can the tools that you have available to improve your performance. And we can do as much as we can, right? And you can do the same thing for your family, for yourself, and for others, but we have limitations. So, and you can do as much as you can. And at the end, it's your decision how you want to, what advice are you going to take, or what actions are you going to take? So in my example, he didn't follow or help. He didn't listen to us much. And at the end, after a few months, less than a year after he started going down, we had to make a decision in his performance, and he was terminated. So it was amazing for me because it was just in 1 year, all happening, only in 12 months, everything went down. And we didn't really didn't know the details, what was going on, because he was very quiet on that sense. So it's important for us, I think, to always speak up to someone, talk to someone, and think positively that maybe the things that you're sharing may make you look bad to some people, but at the end, it's you. And what matters is us, right? So I just want to share that with you when we talk about thinking positively. It's very important to help us reduce that stress. Okay, so can you go to the next? Can you move? Okay, thank you. Sorry. Okay. So another suggestion in how can you reduce your stress, or how can we reduce all our stresses? Get support, as I said, with my example, right? There are a lot of resources that we have here on campus. We have a lot of resources, a lot of people that you can talk to, even to the point that we have a way that you can share your thoughts, anything, without sharing your name. They can keep it confidential, and that's very good. I think that the school has that opportunity because, like my example, there's some people that they don't want to share. They don't want people to know what's going on in their lives, and I get it. But it's important for us to know that there are some options around, and even if you don't want to talk to someone on campus for things that are going in your personal life or at school, talk to your family, talk to your best friends, and seek some help. That's always good to have someone to release that stress. The other one is relaxation techniques. I know with like you guys were saying, you know, we have so many classes, we have finals coming up. I think your time management skills are sometimes limited because of all the things that we have going on in our lives. So to find time to relax, it's not close to us sometimes, but when you are stressed, I think it's important for you to sacrifice. I'm not saying sacrifice a day. Sacrifice maybe a few minutes of your day just to think about you and forget about what's coming next, what's happening around you. Just think about you, and that can be accomplished by, you know, go to a quiet place, just breathe, and do some meditation for a few minutes just to clear your mind and just think about you. So we're going to talk a little bit more in next slides about this topic anyway. So can go next. And of course, probably most of you guys know about this. Stay healthy, you know, go to do exercise, eat well. That can help us a lot. And I can attest to that in my personal life, because I can tell you that there was a time when we had COVID, for example, we lost more than a few of my coworkers at work, which meant that I had to take the responsibilities of other coworkers that left the company. And that brought a lot of stress on me. And I learned to myself at that moment that, and probably some of you can relate to it, is that I start eating a lot. I had chocolates in my desk, and I always took a break to go eat something, to grab some snacks. And I, without realizing, until I start gaining weight. And at nights, it was hard for me to sleep because I was so much stressed with what I needed to do, what I didn't complete it that day. And I had that opportunity to talk to my boss and explain what was going on with me. And this is the first thing that she recommended to me: say, go to the gym, do this, do that, eat better, manage your eating habits. And I started doing that slowly. It was difficult, especially with going to the gym, but I did it. And I did after a few weeks going to the gym, I started realizing that, yeah, my mind was a little more clear. In the mornings or in the evenings, I was more awake because of that. And it was very helpful. So I encourage you, if you are in that situation too. And even study shows, like if you have, like in the breakups, for example, when you end a relationship, a lot of the study shows that one of the effective ways to deal with this type of situations is going to the gym. That helps you a lot to clear your mind and stop thinking about the situation that just happened to you. So that's one thing that I can tell you about how to reduce your stress levels. Next. Sleep, it's something good that we can do as well, that can help us a lot to gain energy. And for a few hours, just forget about what's going on around us. And that's always a good thing to do. So sleeping it's always good. Next. Practicing self-care, this is also important, and I do it here at school a lot, especially when I'm at midterms or finals, or I need to do group meetings or group projects. I mean, or writing papers. It's always good to take a few minutes, take a 5 minutes break, just get up from your desk and just walk around. Do something else besides just focusing on what you're doing. Even at home, if you're working at home, you're doing some homework or your work, at home, just take a break. Maybe just start cleaning something, start washing your clothes, and just find an excuse for you to stop what you're doing. That will help you a lot to come back and refocus your work and reduce the stress level that you have at that moment. So, but you have to be careful too, because you don't want to enter into being procrastinator, right? So just keep doing a lot of things and then just save 1 hour to finish your paper or your projects to balance that. But take a few minutes, and it's always good that help me at least to refocus and just give my mind a little bit of break from what I'm doing. Next. Okay, so this is a little bit tough. Practice mindfulness. And you can see this in your daily lives when we are always focusing on what's next, right? Probably right now you're thinking about, okay, the meeting's going to finish soon, and then I have to do this, right? We're always thinking about what's next. We omit thinking on what, and I think to understand this piece, it's difficult to do it. I notice with myself, and probably you too, like when I hang out with my friends and we go to eat somewhere, we're already sending messages, texting to someone, or doing something else, things that probably we didn't do yet. And we forget about that moment that we decided to get together just to have a good time. But then we're doing our own things. I know each other's a little bit better, so, or learn something, right? So it happens to us a lot. And probably you have your own experiences where you've been doing that. And meditation is another thing that can help us to reduce that stress, of course. And those two things are a little bit difficult for many individuals because of what we're used to, and also for the timing. You know, there's always the excuse that meditation or exercising, it's just taking time away from things that I could be doing for tomorrow. And we lose that. We also have to think in what's going on with us at that moment and focus on the moment. Okay, so next. And this is just something that we put together. It's just some tips on how can you practice mindfulness. And I did, when I was reading this slide, I was like trying myself to see myself, and I can tell you it's not easy. It's not easy because it's first it's about the sitting, sitting on a place that is comfortable. It's good, but I don't have the flexibility that I want on my legs, so it hurt at the beginning. But if you could do that, I mean, I tried. I didn't try the 5 or 10 minutes that it suggests this slide, but I did try for 1 minute and 2. And also I calculate my breath and how long does it take me to just clear my mind until things start popping in my brain, like what I need to do later, what I didn't do. So it takes a few seconds, but I did it a couple of times during this week, and it improved a little bit more. It takes a while for my mind to go back to thinking in other areas. So it's not gonna be easy, but if that's something that can help you, it will be great for you guys can try. at least try and see if that works for you. Okay, next. Now, balance. This is also important, and I know we all are going to school now and working at the same time. And probably that's not going to change the work-life balance when we finish school. I think that's going to increase a little bit our stress if we don't know how to balance our personal life with work. And I think the experiences that we're having right now as students, it will help us a lot to deal with future situations. And how can you do that? And some cases you may have to communicate with your leaders, with your boss, where you are and where you want to be work-wise, and also in your life, in your personal life. And I can tell you today, in today's world, a lot of companies, a lot of businesses are doing or taking into consideration all this about work-life balance. They do understand that, and they want to do it. And it's not because they want it, because there's a lot of studies that shows or data that shows that if we don't have a balance of our life and our work, what happens with your body, and like what Karen was saying, you start feeling sick because of the stress level. And how is that gonna affect the company? Is because you're gonna go out on FMLA. That's gonna cost the company money. You're gonna go into short-term disability, or maybe ask for accommodations. So it's a lot of struggles for companies. So that's why they're now focusing a lot on how can we balance the employees' work and balance with their personal life. So that's happening right now. So that may happen at your work. But if it doesn't happen with you in the future, and you're in that situation where your stress level is too high, I encourage you to have a conversations with your bosses about that. Okay. Next.
Okay, and so for this one, I know Edgar has discussed on meditation. So I just want to play this 3-minute meditation for you all. If you all are in a comfortable space to meditate right now. So this one is, so it's from Headspace. I have a Headspace subscription myself. So I myself meditate, and I try to make it a routine practice where I practice it daily or most days of the week. So the one that I'm about to play is on feeling burnt out. It's the 3-minute meditation, and it's for you to step away from any worried thoughts and give your mind room to focus on the present. So if you all can just give me 1 second to pull that up.
In the meantime, while it's preparing this, I just want to let you know that I just want to invite you guys to share with you things that maybe work for you. Think about things that works for you, what has helped you to reduce your stress levels. We talk about meditation, we're talking about mindfulness, but maybe there are other things that helps you, and maybe we can benefit from your experience as well. So you're welcome to share with us before we end this presentation that you can share with us what you think. You can unmute yourself, or you can just send us a chat message.
Yep, I'm gonna go ahead and play it.
So no matter what's going on right now, no matter what's stressing you out, no matter how many thoughts there are in the mind, just take a moment right now, just to pause, to sit down. Don't try and stop the thoughts, just allow the thoughts to go. You feel a sense of tension, stress, frustration, whatever it might be in the body, just allow as much as possible that to be present, come to the surface, knowing that's part of letting it go. And as you pause for a moment, just take a big deep breath, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And take another deep breath, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. This time as you breathe out, just gently closing the eyes. Again, know that it's normal for the thoughts to continue. Know that it's normal for the body to hold some tension. But just allowing the mind, the attention, just to move towards the breath, that feeling, that sensation of the breath. If you're feeling really stressed, you might even feel a sense of tightness around the breath, maybe some warmth. You can't feel the movement of breath, just gently placing your hand on the stomach. And I'd like you just to pay attention to the exhalation, to the out-breath. So you're still going to be aware of the in-breath, but just following the out-breath from the very beginning to the very end, pausing, waiting for the body to inhale. Body inhales, and then following again the out-breath from the very beginning to the very end. And just allow the thoughts to come and go. Just resting the attention on the out-breath. With each out-breath, perhaps a sense the body lets go just a little bit. A sense of the mind feeling a little more grounded in the body. And just continuing to follow the breath in that way. You can even continue after the end of this exercise. Feeling increasingly grounded in both body and mind as you gently open the eyes again.
Okay, so that was a really short meditation. It's about 3 minutes. It was about 3 minutes long. So hopefully you all got to experience that. And I personally use Headspace. I know there's like YouTube videos for meditation and various other resources. For Headspace, there's like a 14-day free trial, and then after that you subscribe. But if this is something that you think would be beneficial for you, there's like I said, there's YouTube videos and other sources aside from Headspace that you can access. So thank you all for participating in that and for your patience while I pulled the link up since it closed up on me. And then we'll go ahead and continue with our presentation.
Thank you, Karen. Okay, so before we end this presentation, we just want to share that those tools that like Karen showed you, about meditation, and something that it can help you also, especially when you're going to bed. This is very good way to kind of help you release that stress as well. as I said earlier, right? So, our minds are used to think in the future and forget about or focus on the present. And so there is a good exercise that you can try tonight or any of the nights. So when you go to sleep tonight, I invite you to set yourself for pursue excellence and ignore success. Because when you pursue excellence, ignorance will organically, it will show up. You won't have to do much about that. So if you can just go to bed tonight and just put that in your mind, repeat a few times in your mind, I pursue excellence, ignore success. And then think about an outcome, the best outcome that you want, like maybe have A's on your exams, have the relationships you want. Think about something that it's very pleasant, very positive for you, something that you dream that you can have, you could have. And think about that for 2 minutes, 1 or 2 minutes, and then, yeah, just leave it there and just go to sleep. And that will help you. It helped me a lot in many situations. As I said, when I was very stressed at work during COVID, I did follow this practice, and it helped me to sleep better and to be more positive on the next day, and to overcome the difficulties that I was going through at that time. So I think it can help. I believe it can help others as well, because they helped me to do that. Okay, so to end our presentation, we just want to share again some of the resources we have on campus. Karen talked about the person who is helping us on campus. If you have any specific situation that you're going through that need help, you can talk to her, email her, or go to her office. I know she's by the union areas, so you can just go. And as you can see here, you can also get some advice, some departments that can help you also, some resources that we have. Most of them are at the union, but we have other areas that you can go. Like if it's something financial that is really stressing you out, I will go to financial aid and talk to someone, explain your situation and how can they help you. And if there is anyone else besides them that can help you deal with any financial situations. So we have those resources available around our campus. So don't hesitate to use them. They can be very helpful to, maybe it's not going to remove everything away from what you have, but at least it will touch maybe some areas that you can, it can help you to release some of that stress. So don't hesitate to use those. And if you have any questions or anything, please talk to her. And also, we're supposed to have Jessica with us, but she had a class tonight. So, but yeah, as I said, don't hesitate to talk to them. Or if you need more information about who should I talk at the union, or just let us know. Let us know. On the next slides, we have our email. So you can always ask us, and we can guide you where to go, depending on where are you located, which one is closer to you to go. So we can help you with that. So don't hesitate to contact us. Do you guys have any questions? Anything that maybe worked for you that we didn't mention when you're stressful?
And feel free to unmute yourself, or type it in the chat. But if you don't have any questions, we thank you all for joining us today and taking the time. I know we already have a lot of things to do, but know that taking time for this was something beneficial for you, and it was a little time for you. Yeah, thank you all for joining us today.
Yeah, and thank you for the comments that you guys are making too. Thank you. I hope seems like diverse tools that we share with you guys help you, and you already been using it. So thank you for sharing that. So mindfulness, the 3 minutes, and yeah. So it was thanks for the feedback. Okay, I think that's pretty much our presentation. And by the way, we will be recording this one, and we will post this on our grad school website. So if you want to share with your classmates, or if you want to go back later to this presentation or other presentations, you're welcome to do that. It will be it's recording right now, so it will be posted there sometime this next week. Thank you all.